conversations with?
About these concerns? No.
What about when you were in North Carolina, you said you developed a pretty good friendship with Amber Fighter?
Yeah. Actually, she's someone who I'd had who was a very close friend of mine for quite some time now.
So, did you maintain that friendship when you got to Seattle?
Actually, I basically cut off all of my, ended up going and leaving all of the online stuff entirely, basically, because she was very, she got really pretty jealous about me spending time on that.
She meaning?
Michelle.
Well, did you have this conversation like, hey, Amber's my friend, I mean, she lives in Vermont, how much of a threat could she be? It's Vermont, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, she specifically was really upset about Amber because it's like, this is somebody who is a female friend of yours, and just, she felt that she was being really disrespectful and really felt very antagonistic towards Amber, to the point where she wanted to go off and kill her too, and just and kind of made it seem like she was a bad person as well.
Do you know if there was ever any direct contact between Michelle and Amber?
You know, one time I was online talking to Amber in instant messages, and she's like, because she wanted to go, and she'd actually wanted me to go off and say hi to Michelle for her, and she actually wanted to go off and talk to Michelle. Because she was my friend, she wanted to be Michelle's friend as well.
Amber?
Yeah. And actually, Michelle reacted very poorly to that.
Reacted
very poorly to that.
What exactly was her reaction?
Her reaction was actually anger. I don't know if it was the way that Amber tried to say hi or what, but she actually reacted instantly and very angrily to Amber's overture of,
So did you ever, how did you stop having contact with him?
She spent a short time in jail, and while she was in jail, Michelle managed to convince me that Amber was actually really not a particularly good person to have around, and so I kind of ended up sending her a letter saying, look, I don't want to have anything to do with you, and Michelle's like, that's not strong enough, so ended up having to go run it by Michelle, making it meaner and meaner as with each passing until it's like, okay, well, there you go, is that good enough? So, yeah.
Okay, so Michelle has concerns about the neighbors, and where was she, once you were in Falls City, where was she working at that point?
When we were in Falls City, she had, by then she had actually transferred to Nintendo.
Nintendo, and yeah. What town is that facility in?
That's in Redmond.
And what was she doing, very generally, at Nintendo?
Security guard.
Okay. Yeah. And what kind of shifts would she work? Was that a day shift?
All.
Sorry? All shifts?
Moving shift, yeah.
So sometimes she would work?
Sometimes it would be fourth shift, sometimes it would be third shift.
Okay, so it might be a day or night or different times?
Yeah.
And do you recall how her time was at Nintendo? Did she get along there well?
No. No, she did not. She actually got along with them very poorly. There's one person though that she got along with. Everybody else she felt were very sexist and very, I don't know, old boys? I don't know, but they were very old boys type of thing, and very much trying to run around. In fact, she felt physically threatened by several of them.
Let me ask you to turn back to Exhibit 179A, page 5458.
Good one.
And there's an entry at the top of that page.
Okay.
What is the date on the entry at the top of that page?
9. September, possibly 8th, 2005.
Now, this is just after the entry that said September, but seems to be actually July, right?
Yeah.
So, are you sure if it's September 2005, or are you not sure?
No, I'm not sure at all.
Okay. Well, would you please start reading from that entry that's dated 9/8, 2005?
Okay. This past while has been a trying time, mostly due to issues involving child smoke. When she started, she was the only female in the security team, which is still true. Shortly after a while, another new guard named Jimmy was hired. His former experience at prison made me distrust him instantly, and the stories he tells of that time made it obvious that he was the low man on the totem pole. I'm willing to put aside my initial distrust of anyone, although I always approach every new person I meet with a certain wariness. But Jimmy didn't waste any time making it obvious that my distrust was justified.
Just slow down a little, Joe.
Sorry. Would you like me to reread that last?
You can pick up
Okay.
again with that.
See, the thing about jail girls is that, honestly, they choose to spend time in prison, and knowingly or not, they pick up the jail thought process. Part of that is, when you first get there, you have to prove your strength or dominance over someone. It's even more with guards than with the convicts. The convicts in general hate jail and want no part of it. The guards recall it as a great job and bragging rights. Anyway, Jimmy immediately launched an all-out attack on who he perceived the weakest target, Shell. This escalated to an insane level, and the leads were called in, though all they did was chastise him. No mediation was involved, no real punishment, just... You can't be doing that there, Jimmy. No surprise, he learned nothing and has since been more so, turning the rest of the security crew against Shell and starting fights between Shell and the other officers. The best part is because he didn't insinuate himself so well, her side of the story isn't even acknowledged, and the rest of the officers, including the leads, immediately flock to his side when she points out his slander. This has obviously made the whole job entirely unworkable. So, she's quitting. We're both pretty happy about that, because we're both pretty tired of this whole pile of shit. Sorry.
So, is that an accurate summary of what you understood to be the problem at Nintendo?
Basically, yes.
And did she in fact quit there eventually?
She did actually.
Do you have some information in that entry about jail guards and about convicts?
Yeah.
Where did that information come from? Did you have any jail experience?
I had no jail experience at the time. I was going off of entirely what my, what the various, dads that mom had brought home.
You used air quotes as you said.
Yeah.
Dads.
Yeah. Because these are just various guys that mom brought home to fill in the role as dads. And they was mostly speaking from the point of view of, ex-cons, right? So that would be, you can see that there would be some level of bias there.
Okay.
I would point out that my experience since has been that is completely inaccurate.
What has been your experience with the jail officers?
That the jail officers are very, in fact, fair people, you know. As long as you don't go around and act like a drunk, they won't treat you like a drunk. They might, because of my charge, they were...
Convictions, you mean?
Well, before they were convictions. When I first come in, they were just charges. So, when I first come in, there was some obvious level of animosity, which is completely understandable. I mean, what happened is a really obviously terrible thing, and so there was some upset about that, and it was like, okay, what kind of drunk could possibly do that, to use the lightest possible term? And so there was a lot of, I think there was a lot of concern on the part of the guards about that, and when they realized that, no, I'm just perfectly normal and just actually try to be polite to them and respect them, that they treat me with respect and tone. They've actually been totally decent.
Okay. We'll talk about that some more. I want to get through this here.
Can I say one last thing? Is that I never met Jimmy or have any independent cooperation of any of the things that I just said. Met Jimmy, and I can't independently cooperate with any of the things that I said. No. So
when you say you met Jimmy, that's the person
no,
that
I never met Jimmy.
referred to in the Nintendo entry?
No, I never met him. And yes, the one in the entry.
Okay, so your information in that entry comes from what source?
Michelle.
Did you ever meet any of the other people from Nintendo?
No. Well, that's not entirely true. I met one of the janitors.
Okay. Let's have you read another entry here going forward, page 5567.
Okay.
Excuse me, 5467.
Oh, right. Okay.
So the date at the top of the page is what?
7/28/2005.
It's July?
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
And the next date entry on that page is what?
8/4/2005.
Okay. Why don't you start reading from the second paragraph under 8/4/2005.
Okay. A conversation I'd had today. Michelle's telling me about some. This is a little bit difficult because I copied both sides of the page. About some shit. She.
Joe, why don't you read from the original? It might be.
Okay. Okay. A conversation I'd had today. She was telling me about some shit one of our supervisors are pulling. I tell her not to worry, it doesn't matter. She tells me she doesn't care, just wants to know what his game was. I say it doesn't matter, so... I'm sorry. I say it doesn't matter, so don't worry. She says she wasn't worried, she just wanted to know. Our conversations often go in circles like this, until she throws out that I'm not listening because she wasn't worried. My response is that she seems to be, since she's preoccupied. No, that's not right. I said, most people, if they're so preoccupied with something, are worried about it. I got only most people out before she attacked me. I hate when she does that. Being just so convinced that I don't care or I'm her enemy or some shit that she can't wait to attack me. Oh. Should I keep going?
Yes.
Oh, I did more homework. The compiler's fighting me too. The compiler is something that's used in C++ programming. My life is continual, idiotic fights. This is why I play so many games. It's pretty nice to escape my pathetic and battered life. Go figure, I can't even say I've done much in this life than survive, waste air and skin, and take up space. I've lived a transitory life for so long. I've lived a transitory life for so long. I can't say I've even made an impact on anyone's life. Not even the brother and sister I raised. If they remember me at all, the brother and sister that I raised, sorry. If they remember me at all, it's only that, a memory, dimmed by half of their lifetime. When I left, they were 9 and 10. Now they're probably driving. I feel so empty. It makes me want to remove myself from this hollow life, so I can't waste any more. Leave and never come back. I think sometimes the people I knew and cared about, and how I failed or outright betrayed. All of them. I let them all down because I'm weak, because I'm unfocused, because I'm a shell with animal instincts, eat, sleep, jerk off, and nothing else. Poor stuff to leave me, to give me meaning, a gift from me to me, who I was to who I am, to help me become who I'm supposed to be. I should find him and listen. That's what we were here for.
Okay, now Joe, a couple of questions about that.
Yes.
And then at the end there's some drawings, is that right?
Yes.
That similar to your tattoo?
Yes.
Now, first of all, let's talk about Crow. Crow
Okay.
is there to guide me, a gift from me to me.
Yeah.
Exactly what does that mean?
Well, my view at that time, and partially still, is that he was kind of my is that the consciousness that what we consider the human consciousness is only part of our
Consciousness what?
what we consider the human consciousness is only part of who we are, right? That there's more of us than we ourselves are aware of, okay? And so that there's this other amount of being that is kind of our, the term that I used to use was my dead half, actually. Though it's not quite. The term that I used to use was my dead half. But that's not actually the correct term because it's more of the one that's not, the part of me that's not actually embodied, not actually living in the way that the rest of me is. So, in a way, it's a fragment of myself that is there to help guide me and protect me from doing stupid crap like this awful thing ended up being.
Crow is
Yes.
a fragment of you? I thought
He might be, well, I don't know if he's a fragment of me or if he's somebody that I had went and got him to help me out, or if he's a totemic spirit or what.
a totemic spirit?
Yeah.
So, the spirit guides Dr. Dutton talked about were who again? Crow?
Crow, Melissa, God, he also lumped in that, but God's obviously not a spirit guide. And he also mentioned Void and the other, except neither of those are actually spirit guides.
Void and the other are not spirit guides?
No, they're just parts of me.
They're parts of you?
Yeah.
So they're fragments of you?
Yes.
So is Crow a fragment of you?
I'm not actually sure what he is. What his actual origin is. All I know is that he's there as a sort of a guardian to keep me from doing stupid things. But I don't think he's actually part of me. Now, if you would ask me now.
Now let me ask you another...
At that particular time I did, though.
What's that?
At that particular time I did it. Now I don't.
At which particular time?
When I wrote this.
In 2005.
Yes.
Let me ask you about this entry, because you're kind of you're talking about this dispute with Michelle.
Yeah.
What was your demeanor like during these disputes? I mean, it doesn't sound like you're just immediately giving up. You're saying, well, you're seeing stuff, that's because you're so preoccupied.
Yeah.
So what exactly, what's the dynamic, what's the demeanor, what's your demeanor?
Well, usually it would be something along the lines of, she's starts talking about something, and I'd be like, well, what about this? And then I would go into just like a regular conversation. It's like, no, well, I mean, your demeanor, most people would go and be concerned about. You know, if they're talking about something like this, they'd be concerned about that. And, you know, I'd be calm, trying to go and like actually keep things cool, right? Trying to go and keep things from exploding. And she's, you know, starting to explode. I'm like, look, you know, just hold on, Mo. I'm just trying to explain, you know, not trying to dispute your view of things. I'm not trying to go off and tell you how to do it. I'm just trying to tell you that the way that you're getting upset is not what I meant, okay? Or the way that you heard me say that something was not what I meant to say, or I didn't mean to go off and mispronounce something, or I didn't mean to make it difficult for you to hear me, or this, that, or the other thing. And as time would, and she'd actually get angrier and angrier because she wouldn't want to hear my explanations. She wouldn't want to hear my backpedaling, as she called it. So she'd start shouting me down, and so I would go, and eventually sometimes I would get to a point where I would shout back, but usually she would just start shouting and just keep shouting about how I don't care, about how worthless I am, about how much pain I put her through, about how terrible I am. And it would go, usually by the end of these I would end up curled up in a ball in the corner of the room, trying to tear at myself, and her standing over me, still yelling down at me. And even though I've like given up completely long ago, her feeling was that it was very much the, and I'd actually asked her about this. It's like, you know, it's with you, it's like rip your head clean off, although my heel you bruise. I'll rip your head clean off, even though my heel you bruise. And she's like,
Slow down.
I'll rip your head clean off, although my heel you bruise. You know, like it's separate from something or another.
Oh, am I correct, Joe, that you said, I'll rip your head clean off, even though it might cure your bruise?
Although my heel you bruise.
Although
my heel you bruise.
My heel?
Yes. i.e. somebody goes off and a minor bruising would be a good reason to go and like rip in retaliation that person's head off.
Just explain what that means. I'm not
It's-
I don't want to try to characterize it, so just explain what you're talking about.
No, that's a quote, right? I don't know. That's a quote, actually.
From what?
I don't recall, actually. But it is a quote.
Yeah, if I might just ask what the question was. I completely lost track.
Well, I wasn't sure what you said exactly, Joe, about ripping your head off, although my feel you were bruised. Hold on. So I asked you to explain that.
Yeah.
Okay? Is that...
Okay. Now, that's a quote, but I don't remember what it's from. I'd actually asked her at one point, you know, because I'd had that in mind, and she would be like that. I'm like, you know, with you, it's, you know, very much, I'll rip your head clean off, although my heel you bruised. And she's like, well, yeah, I mean, if somebody's going and bruising my heel, then I have to go. Then they know that they're doing something wrong. Then they know that they're going out of the way to harm me, and so they deserve to be attacked back, and to be attacked back with the maximum force possible to make sure that they don't screw up again.
So, in the course of these, I mean, at this point, you've got a gun.
Yes.
Do you ever think of just shooting yourself and saying that's going to be the quickest way out here?
Yes.
You have that conversation with her?
Well, yeah, actually,
Well, tell
once or
us.
twice. But there was a couple times where I just went off and like, there was a couple months where I would actually, for a couple months on a daily basis.
There was a couple of what on a daily basis?
So it's a couple of months.
Months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I would actually on a daily basis go and take my gun, which is the 357, and look down the barrel and just really consider going and shooting myself. And a lot of the reason I didn't actually is because I would have made a huge mess and would have left her vulnerable. And the reason that she was vulnerable in the first place, I felt, was because I was doing such a bad job as a guardian. So I never actually did that. Later on, there actually were a couple of times where she had went and beat me down. I ran back and
Hold on. She had what?
she beat me down like I described, where I was caught up like that.
Not physically beat.
No, she never physically did anything like that. So I'd go back, get the gun, and hold it to my head. It's like, will this make you happy? And she would talk me down because it's like, no, I love you, great, honey. I was like, but I make things so awful. Wouldn't it be better if I just shot myself?
Where did the penis cutting incident occur?
That was along the same lines, actually. Well,
Where were you living?
I think it actually happened twice. I think it happened in Falls City and again in Carnation. A quick note is that she had made me promise not to shoot myself because she needed my support. She needed me as protection.
Well, did the self-protection thing come from the same...
From the same sort of thing where she's sitting here and she's just staring into me as being a terrible person, as being a sexist, horrible, awful person, right? And not caring enough and not even being half a man. It's like, and how she's a much better man than I could ever be. And it's like, okay, fine, I go over and just whip it out and like put down the cutting board and pull out the knife and just, okay, look, okay, well, then let's go, okay? And I was going to just do it, and she stopped me from doing it. It's like, look, we don't have insurance, you know, so.
Like that's the strongest argument against it or something? The insurance?
It's a good argument.
Joe, when this happened, after this, did you not, after this, go and look yourself in the mirror? Was this not a red flag? Did you not say, my God, what have I become? I mean, this is a bad sign for a relationship, right?
Well, in a way, yeah, I did look myself in the mirror, and it's like, wow, I've really failed. I've really screwed up. How have I become such a worthless piece of crap? How have I managed to go off and handle this much where she's... How have I managed to handle this much? How have I managed to make things this bad?
Did you have any other thoughts about that incident?
No. Just how have I failed so much? How did I do this?
Um, a couple more very brief journal entries. Turning to
Okay.
page 5470.
Okay.
At the bottom, the one that's dated, I think it's 8/8.
Yes. 8:85 a.m.
Why don't you just go then to the top of the next page.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
And the paragraph that begins, "Also I need,"
Yeah.
so that's going to be 5471.
Yes.
Would you please read that paragraph?
Just this paragraph?
Yeah, just that, "Also I need."
Also, I need to stop slacking and walking out. It's important. We're surrounded by people who would attack us. Yeah. It's important. We're surrounded by people who would attack us if they thought they'd win. My joints are another reason. They hold less when I walk out. Drinking more water, less coffee helps too.
Okay, now why don't you go down to the bottom of that same page, under the entry that is 8/22/2005.
Okay.
You're still in Fall City at this point?
Yeah.
And would you read that final full paragraph starting with "this morning"?
This morning, we had a problem, and I walked through half the neighborhood brandishing a crowbar. A single call. Brandishing a crowbar. Crowbar. Sorry. A single call to the cops, and I'd have been gone for a long time. They'd be totally right. Some crazy fuck wandering around. Not a good impression. Should I keep going?
Yes, please.
Okay, major development, Brad. Okay, major development, Brad.
Brad, are you saying?
Yes.
Is that a person?
Yes.
Okay, Brad.
Yeah. The reason my studies and walkouts have been so deeply disrupted, not to mention my sleep, is being evicted. He'll finally not be walking through our yard anymore and stalking us. Yay! I'm so damn happy. His shit had gotten out of hand. Jealousy and over-interest are one thing, but jealousy? I'm sorry. And over-interest are one thing, but this dude's coming after us, looking for an opening to take us down and tear us apart. Not good. She's the reason I went ballistic last night. If I had found him, I'd have killed him. I'm glad there's an end in sight now, a happy end.
So what evidence do you have that this guy was stalking you?
Well, at this point things have gotten a little bit weird, and I can honestly say that the weirdness was on both sides.
The weirdness was on both sides?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, we were being kind of weird as well. I mean, like I said, we were going like sneaking out, and we covered all the windows with black plastic trash bags. We were like, anytime somebody drove past, we were looking out to see who it was. Anytime somebody walked past, we were looking out to see who it was, and we're like taking pictures of this stuff. And it's just so we were getting kind of weird. And
Back off from the mic just a touch.
okay, so we had gotten kind of weird, and I could say that they were being a little bit weird too. I mean, there's, going like cutting through other people's lawn just to go off and like, get to where you're going. I mean, city life, whatever, right? And then there was going over and taking your dog up on the steps, training it to recognize when people are coming out, so it starts barking anytime somebody comes out. There was.
Now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You're saying people were training their dogs to start barking when you guys came out?
Actually, I'm saying that this particular guy had done that.
Well, but dogs gotta bark.
This is true,
come on.
but
Can you really conclude that this guy was training his dog to bark when you came out? Some
Well-
dogs are gonna bark because that's what they do. They're dogs.
this is true. However, he was going and he literally seemed to be going off like training the dog to recognize, say, our front porch as a point where it should be barking.
Why was he giving the dog treats when he barked? Did he have one of those clickers or something? I mean, exactly what sort of training was going on? Was it like a chair and a whip or something? Like what is he?
Well, I could say that he was, for example, he would go off like walk the dog. Every day he would go take the dog out, walk it around, take it actually like right beside the truck and right actually up to our front door which actually you have to go up some stairs onto the porch to go to the front door, and he'd take the dog along. One time I'd actually, like, you know, I was watching him do this. So I looked out the window, because I heard a clicking noise outside. I'm like, what is this? Look out the window, he's, you know, trying the doors on the truck, right? So I go around to the front door, grab the crowbar, and I hear it, and then I hear him actually walking up the front steps. I'm like, what? So I open up the door, and he's like right there. And I'm like, geez, dude, it's a good, wow, it's, just be more careful, man. I didn't realize that you were there. I could have killed you, you know? So he's, you know, like totally freaked out. I'm like, yeah, man. Hey, I wouldn't want that, you know, so it's, because I don't want to hold anybody, right? Because I don't want to hold anybody. I'd much rather not have to deal with it. So.
What was then the conversation like, hey, what are you doing on my front porch? Maybe he...
No. What I did was just, hey, look, you know, be careful. I don't know what you're doing up here, but I could really haunt you if I didn't know that it was you. I thought you might have been a prowler or something.
You asked him why he was trying the doors of your truck?
No.
How about, so the way that mobile home parks work, right, is you own the mobile home and then you rent the lot, correct?
Yeah.
And so there's a property manager or landlord, landlady?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Were you in touch with that person?
Actually, quite a bit, yes.
Couldn't you phone her and be like, hey, one of the other tenants is coming up on our porch?
She actually was doing that, yeah. And so Lana was like, well, we did say that he had come up on the porch, I think. But she was talking about the various disputes that were ongoing. This was through Michelle, not me, actually. Mostly.
Through Michelle, not you.
Yeah. Mostly I was just kind of standing there off to the side.
What was through Michelle, not you?
These grievances.
With the landlady?
Yes.
Okay. Is that Miss Mensinger?
Yeah.
But the thing on the front porch with the guy that came up, that was you?
That was me, yeah.
Did you observe anything else that might give rise to the conclusion that you guys were being stalked?
You know, other than the thing that had actually set me off on this particular occasion, right, is that we were sitting out, if I remember correctly, we're actually sitting out on the lawn, and we looked over, and he had actually went and moved a couple of slats from his back window so that he could actually, because he had Venetian blinds, right? And so that, because he would sit in his house and just smoke and just, you know, blow it out though. And so he'd blow it out the back window, but it always seemed like he was watching us. Because, I mean, we'd look over and there would always be the ember, like, you know, pointing at us. It's like, why is this guy watching us?
There would always be the ember from the cigarette?
Yeah. So it was...
A couple slabs from the Venetian blinds, right?
Yeah, and he would just always be sitting there watching us. It's like, why is this guy watching us so much?
Well, you can't conclude that he removed those just so he could see, right?
No, but she did, and she really gotten angry about it. She'd gotten really very upset, and I'm really responsive to the emotions of others. And especially when my entire life is built around this particular other. So...
Especially when your
my entire life is built around this particular other, and so I overreacted a little bit.
Meaning Michelle?
Yeah.
So while the whole time you lived in that trailer park, did you ever actually hurt anybody?
Absolutely not.
Did you ever use the crowbar?
Absolutely not. In fact, I'd actually managed to, there was one point where I was like, look, how about we just get everybody together and just, you know, stop and talk for a minute and figure these things out. And it turned out that they were watching us because we were being weird and watching them watch us. They were looking around because they're just, you know, small town kind of nosy people. You know, it's like, hey, who's here, right? We're going and freaking out because, you know, she's used to
She meaning Michelle?
Michelle being from the country and like nobody else being around, or she's used to not having people around and so having a buffer zone. And me, I'm just going with what she views because it's like, okay, well, you're probably right. I mean...
So after you had this get-together with everybody, what
you know,
happened then? Did that take care of it?
We came back in. Okay, so after all things had been calmed down, we went inside and I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good about this. I feel everything's settled, everything's calmed down now, right? And the first thing out of her mouth, I told her to say something about that, and the first thing she says is, I do not trust those fuckers. Sorry, but that's how she put it.
So then what happened? Did you change the tension lighten up or anything like that?
The tension lightened up, but we were still trying to get out of we put our house up for sale, like, right away.
You what?
We put our place up for sale.
Okay.
First, we tried to go off, like, find a place we could move the mobile to. She really liked it, and she wanted to move it to another location. That's not as easy as it sounds like. There's not really a lot of places that... There's not really a lot of land that's, like, available that has hookups for mobile on it. Usually, place...
You guys were both working, right? She, at least for a time, was
Yeah.
working at Nintendo, right?
Oh, yeah.
And when you lived in Falls City, is that also when she worked with your mom at the post office?
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah,
That was what?
that was terrible.
Why was it terrible?
She would come home every day so angry, so furious about what these people were doing to her. And in all reality, you know, Mom was really going out of her way. Sorry, Judy was really going out of her way to look out for her. I mean, she was loaning her because in the rural post offices they don't have their own vehicles. I mean, the post office doesn't have their own vehicles. They exactly.
So was this already after you had worked at Target in Redmond?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you were still paying rent from savings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just
So I was still
get
covering
to
all
the
that.
conclusion here. Why
Yes.
exactly or how she quit the post office?
So I'm like, look, you know, how about you just go off and quit? You're coming home so angry all the time. I mean, she had come home so furious. She was coming home on a daily basis, just wanting to go off and kill these people. And,
She was talking about killing them?
well, more than usual. She was, like, really angry. I mean, she was just, like, on fire type angry. And I'm just like, look, please, just quit. I'll go back to work. You don't need to keep worrying about this stuff. I mean, if these people don't appreciate you, then there's no need to keep going through this, okay? There's no need to keep putting yourself through this. I'll just take care of it. I'll just go back to work, okay? Please just let me go back to work. So she let me talk her into quitting.
So, and when you left Target, what was it, a voluntary quit, or were you fired or anything like
No,
that?
it was voluntary resignation. They were like, look, they didn't want me to quit. It was a good job. They liked me, though.
Okay. So you're trying to sell the mobile home. I'm guessing is that eventually you did because you moved up to Wayne and Judy's place, right?
Actually, we ended up selling it back to the management.
Okay.
But yes,
And then from there you moved to the place that Wayne and Judy provided.
yeah.
Now tell me, what was the deal up there? Were you paying for anything at all, or was it just a total free ride until you guys decided to kill him?
We, when we had first went up there, we actually went up there because of our concerns about the neighborhood, and at first they weren't really too bothered by it, but after Michelle,
At
first
they
they,
weren't too bothered by it? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Wayne and Judy,
We're not too bothered by what?
by the danger that we were in, because they're like, okay, well, maybe she's overreacting, right? And then there was a couple of trips in which Michelle went with Wayne and also later on, I can't remember if only with Judy, to visit their respective families.
Where did they go?
When she went with Wayne, it was to Nevada to actually visit her Wayne's brother Ken, right, who we saw previously, because her grandmother Elsie, which was Wayne's mother, had died. So, you know, sorting out all of the business and whatnot.
Okay, so how did that affect? Did that have any effect on her relationship with your dad?
That had a huge effect on her relationship with her dad. Before she went on that relationship with her, before she went on that trip, her and her dad just really didn't get along too well. By the time they came back, they had really buried the hatchet. In fact, their entire relationship had done 180 to the point where she really liked him, and they really liked and cared for each other. That all the animosity, as much as she had hated and all the animosity, all the hatred and doubt that she had for followers now, like, completely revolves to us. Like, okay, this guy is really on my side. He's really looking out for me. He's really going to go off and like try and help me do right on this. And
meaning what?
getting the house together, putting her in a position where she's safe and whatnot. At first, he tried to get a property for them to move to, you know, for us, Scott, and Mary and her children to split, right? That was a 15-acre property, like right beside where he lived. And
15-acre property?
Yeah, and he was going to split it into 5-acre parcels, right? Among them, and they were going to go off and pay him back, and that ended up being that just really didn't work out, so that just kind of fell by the wayside. After all that was put aside, it's just like, okay, well, we're not going to bother trying. We've tried.
Okay, so but at one point, when Michelle goes with Wayne down in Nevada,
Exactly.
comes back and things are great.
Yeah. She comes
really
back.
sees that he's trying to help her, right?
Yeah, and Wayne.
Let me
Okay.
wait for the question.
Okay.
Was that before or after you left Falls City?
But that's before we left Falls City.
Okay. And, we heard Mark Mann said, oh, for years killing her family was her fantasy or something like that. Have Michelle talked about killing her family before you moved back up to the place in Carnation?
Oh, yeah. She talked about killing a lot of people.
Okay, so, but I mean, was there ever any discussion of like, wow, should we really be moving back up there when you want to kill these people?
Well, I didn't particularly want to move up there in the first place because it's like, I didn't really want to move farther out from everything because I didn't like being further away than where I could walk to if I needed to do something. I didn't like relying on calls. That was the other thing about calls that I forgot to mention. That, I don't really like relying on anybody or anything, okay? And so, well, a lot of things let me down.
But,
Anyway, there was
you
no...
mentioned a trip with Wayne and with your mother. When did that occur? Where were you living? Falls City or Carnation?
Both times we were living in Falls City.
And where was this trip to? Where were these trips to?
The one with Wayne, I can't remember which order they were in. But the one with Wayne was to the Nevada area, yeah.
What about the one with Judy?
In fact, the one with Wayne was to the Vegas area. The one with Judy was to the Reno area, which was to visit her family, her mama. Yeah.
Okay.
Her mother had fallen down a broken rib.
Judy's mother had broken a hip.
Yes.
Okay.
Her mother had fallen down and broken a rib. Sorry.
And so, what do you know about that trip, or did that have any effect on Michelle's relationship with her mother?
That had a terrible effect on her relationship with her. In fact, I think that this probably antedated that this came before her meeting, her working for the post office, because she had actually went into this particular thing. She actually went on that particular trip with very much, okay, I'm going to go off and take care of mom, make sure that she's okay. And Scott and everybody was like, really, look, take care of mom. I know that she gets kind of goofy sometimes, but you can do this, right? I'm expecting you to go off and take care of home, right? By the time she came back, her relationship with with Judy had completely 180'd as well. She went from really liking and really caring about her mom to frankly hating her and having a hard time not killing her right down.
But did you have anything, so when Michelle came back, I guess you talked about this?
Well, yeah, and we talked on the phone. I'm like, look, don't do that. And she was actually saying that the reason that she had kept herself from doing that was because that she had kept herself from shooting Judy because she did have a gun on her, right?
She took her gun on the trip with her mom?
Well, yeah, protection, right? And the reason that she didn't use it on Judy was because she was so, because they had asked her to look out, it's like, look, make sure you take care of mom, so.
And but when she came back and you had this conversation with her, you knew Judy, right?
Yeah.
Did Judy ever mean or threaten or any of that stuff to you?
No, she wasn't. And I pointed this out, and she was like, look, that's how she is with you, and it was like this with actually most people. That's how they're like with you, and that's how they're like with me. They're nice to you because they're scared of you. They're not nice to me because I'm just this, fat little girl that nobody needs to take seriously.
And that's how she would describe herself?
Yes. Look, I never would go off and make any deal of her size or anything because, honestly, I didn't care, okay? It was an aspect of her, that's how she was, whatever, right? But it really bothered her a lot. It put, psychologically, she brought it up a lot, and it really preyed on her a lot. It put extra strain on her. It made her very sensitive to temperatures. She'd actually, at one point, she would actually get really upset about Erica's weight as well, because she's like, oh, that's so disrespectful that Erica's gotten this big and she's got this guy who's like going off and like working this hard, and then he comes home and she's all big like that, and meanwhile she's, you know, not that small herself. It's just like, I didn't see anything, but it's just kind of like whatever, right? So she also, at one point, she lost when she was working, and it's in fact.
Sorry,